Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface for my episode 6 review of The Mandalorian. Quite a few meta things in this episode, and I'm going to start off straight away by the title of this week's show, which is The Prisoner. The Prisoner, which is episode 6. I am not a number, I am a free man. Which I think is a call out to the Patrick McGoohan show from 1967. One of my favourite TV shows of all time. Tried to get a lady who I was doing something with earlier this year. We're not anymore. Trying to get her into the show. And when we went our separate ways, a few weeks, couple of months after we'd gone our own way, she texted us. She says, "What was that name of that show? What was the name of that show that we watched the first episode with?" And I was like, yes, I've converted another person to the Prisoner TV show. Right, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I genuinely think this is a bit meta. Episode 6, The Prisoner. And I thought this episode was fantastic. I really did. I thought it was fantastic. This show is so good. It's just so entertaining, and it just does something a little bit different with Star Wars. It just uses the aesthetic of Star Wars and transplants whatever it needs to transplant, you know? A Western, a Star Trek episode, in this case, a heist episode, you know, a heist show. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. So Mando arrives at this space station, and that's some damn good CG. Can I just say, considering you look back at some shows from the early 2000s, and the CG looks better than 90% of the stuff that we get today. I'm not even joking. I really am not. But this is really tight. It kind of almost looks like a model. To be perfectly honest with you, almost looks like a model, but it's damn good. So the Mando arrives at this space station. He walks through the hangar and then meets up with an old compatriot who actually turns out to be Flass from Batman Begins. If you don't know who Detective Flass was was the guy who was strung up by Batman. I swear I don't know nothing. Swear to me. Yeah, that was Flass, the guy who likes falafel. I believe he was also in Sons of Anarchy. I never watched Sons of Anarchy. I used to get, not used to get, but my housemate used to be mad into it, right? And so she'd watch it, and then I would just come down to the front room, you know, a few days later, whatever. And I'd just say, just tell me what happened. I didn't want to watch the show. I just wanted the edited highlights that took five minutes. So she used to do that for me. So I've sort of passively watched Sons of Anarchy, I suppose. So he talks about the fact that he knows the guild are after him. He hears things, but he also knows Mando needs some coin, and he was part of his crew, so going forward, you know, you need the cash. I got the job. Let's do some business. So he introduces Mando to some of the crew. And the first guy that we're introduced to, Bill Burr. Oh, God, this guy has given... This is going to sound pretty gay. Literally pretty gay. Bill Burr has just given me hours of pleasure. He's given me hours upon hours of oral pleasure. He's such a funny comedian. He really is so funny. Of course, he was in Breaking Bad as well. Had a little bit of a role in Breaking Bad. But he's just such a talented comic. I don't think I've seen somebody as razor sharp and as cutting as Bill Burr is with his comedy. It's incredible. He's incredible. So I was so happy to see Bill Burr on the show. Put a massive smile on my face. So we're 3 minutes into the episode. It's called The Prisoner. It's episode 6. It's my favourite show of all time on TV. Bill Burr turns up. Flass from Batman, my favourite superhero of all time, here. And the Mandalorian's there. It is, to me, it's a sausage fest of utmost importance for me. I'm loving every second of this right now. Every second of it. So we then get introduced to our next member. There's lots of nice little quippy exchanges between the two. And Flass, I'm going to call him Flass. Sorry, I'm going to call the guy from Bat Bangins Flass. Flass says that the guy was an Imperial. An Imperial, I don't know, he calls him Imperial either something or other. And Mando makes a sarcastic remark. And Bill Burr hears him. And he turns around and he's just like, I wasn't a bloody stormtrooper. I died laughing. I died laughing. It was so good. So this show has just won my heart already. It barely has to try right now. So we meet the second person in the group, which is one of those devil-looking people. I don't know. I think that's Clancy Brown. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's possibly Clancy Brown. I'm not sure. There's so much makeup, I'm not sure. But big and devilish, and he's quite funny. Later on in the episode, some cool things we discover about him. Then we get the is it the Twi'lek? Are they Twi'leks? I can't remember the races in Star Wars particularly well. Twi'leks, whatever. And this is what's she called? Ona or whatever she was. Honor something or other. Game of Thrones, the one who was looking after another of the dead Starks. Another of the Starks who got killed, Brandon, who looked after Brandon Stark. That's her, and she's the knives person. Bill Burr's the guns. The devil guy, which may be Tom Clancy, which may be Clancy Brown, I think. Not Clancy Brown. I'm all over the place now. No, yeah, Clancy Brown. Yeah, I think it's Clancy Brown. Yeah, that may be Clancy Brown. He's the muscle. She's knives. You know, it's a right typical heist villain. Yeah, it's really lovely. It's lovely. I just love tropes. These tropes that work. Yeah, look at it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll debate it in the Prisoner, Chapter 6. I am not a number. I am a free man. We also have this robot here, which is going to be shipping them to and through. This voice is Richard. I can never pronounce his surname. Ioda. Oh, I don't know. From the IT crowd. It's Richard from the IT crowd. Hilarious guy. Again, hilarious person in real life. He's doing the voice of the robot. So far, by the way, not a hint of Baby Yoda. We then discover that what they're going to steal isn't cargo. It's a person from a Republic prison transport ship or some shit. Which Mando's not happy with because he's already, trying to fly under the radar. But they're just like, hey, dude, you do your job. We'll be in and out of there. No problem. So he kind of backs down against his own better judgment. Again, more banter, which is pretty good banter. These guns and the guns on his back are pretty cool later on, by the way, can I just say. So they all say their goodbyes, they all get stocked up or whatever, and then they head out on Mando's ship. The reason why they're using Mando's ship, at least that's what we're told, is because this one will probably be the most inconspicuous and off the Republic's radar. Whereas the other ships that they could use, better ships, would actually be more recognisable to the Republic. So they go through to hyperspace, and they're all having a bit of a chit-chat down below. Clancy Brown and Bill Burr. I say Clancy Brown, it's probably not. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Clancy Brown anyway. And Bill Burr really want to know what Mando's face looks like, because he used to have apparently a fling with the Twi'lek woman from Game of Thrones. So there's lots of meta things going on here. And it ends up having a little bit of a fight, and between the Mando and the Clancy Brown, maybe not Clancy Brown. And when Clancy falls backwards, he inadvertently opens up the door to the room that Baby Yoda is hiding in, which reveals Baby Yoda. If I can just find the error, here we go. Which reveals Baby Yoda. Now, this show has clearly got me, because when Baby Yoda was revealed to these people, and they are clearly unsavory people. Although I love Bill Burr, and I love Clancy Brown, and I did enjoy Game of Thrones. They are horrible people in the show. And that's laid out. And clearly nobody trusts, at least Mando doesn't trust any of them. And Bill Burr's just like, what's this? Is this a pet? And Mando's like, yeah, something like that. And he picks up Baby Yoda. And this is where I can tell the show has got me, because I'm starting to get the anger here. You know, when you get the anger there, that's real, proper, true anger. You know, not barking, and anyone can bark, but you feel this build up here. That's genuine. And it was just like, don't you fucking hurt Baby Yoda. You hurt Baby Yoda, and I will. You up. So I start to feel it. And you can tell that Mando is really kind of on edge, but trying to act cool, trying to not make a big deal, because it's a big deal. And then they come out of hyperdrive, and Bill Burr stumbles and drops Baby Yoda on the floor. I was furious. I was just like... So Mando picks Baby Yoda back up. He's not crying. He's okay. And puts him back in his compartment and just... You are so beautiful to me. Sorry. So they dock with the prison ship. And they gain access to the prison ship. And they all jump down. And it's not manned. The one good thing about this that Mando's happy with is it's not manned. It's just patrolled by droids. If they come across any trouble, it's just droids that they have to deal with. So we see like a couple of kind of heavy-duty gun droids walking across. And then they get into the corridors. Very sort of reminiscent, these corridors, are the beginning of A New Hope. When the stormtroopers are breaking into the Princess Leia's consulate ship. So they start looking for the person that they want to release. It's all going well so far, until they come around a corner and a group of droids... this little droid here is like poking around, and maybe Clancy Brown tries to get it, but then shoots it, which causes more guards to arrive, and we get these Republic droids. So these are Republic droids. So Mando manages to literally go 360 and go all the way around to the back of them, and he starts taking them all out, shooting them, cutting their legs off, using his grapple hook, using his fire gauntlet, flamethrower, and Bill Burr or one of them stops anyone from interfering. It's just like, no, just let him do it. And then you're sort of like, ooh. Well, this is numbers versus him. And I don't think this is just you checking out how good his skill is. This is, if he gets killed, he gets killed. Oh, well. So you suddenly get your first, ooh, something's going to go wrong. Something was bound to go wrong, but you realise something's definitely going to go wrong now. So they deal with the robots with relative ease. They put up a slightly better fight than the what was it from the prequels? Begins with a Syndicate droids. I can't remember. So anyway, they come to a room, and they get inside this room, and there is a guy in there. And this is not meant to be manned. So this causes some issues, because we've got a human being, and it's only meant to be droids. So, next meta thing. This guy is the voice for Anakin Skywalker on Star Wars Rebels. So we've got another meta event happening. So yeah, he gets himself a cameo in the series. Good on him. I love the outfit, again, reminiscent of the outfit used in A New Hope. I love this helmet. I think it's really cool. I quite like it. And they start taking the piss out of him because he's got like white Chelsea boots on and a white plastic belt. And Bill Burr's like, "Oh, nice boots. Matches your belt." And maybe Clancy Brown's laughing, and you just know this poor guy's dead. You just know he's dead. So Mando's trying desperately to calm everybody, because he doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to kill a person here. Doesn't want not necessarily because of his morals, but because he doesn't want to bring the attention of the Republic down on him. So this guy gets this out, and he says, if I press this button, or they realize what it is. It's like a tracker. If he presses that button, then it's gonna, within 5 minutes or so, it's gonna cause the rebels to send backup, and the backup will blow up the prison ship. So everyone's trying hard to act cool. Then Mando's like, "Put your guns down," and then everyone starts getting guns up, and it starts to get a little bit of a standoff. And so the knife woman throws a knife and kills the guy, but unfortunately, when he died, unfortunately for them, very unfortunate for the guy that died, he presses the button. And so I said 5 minutes. They have limited time before the rebels are drawn to the beacon and whatnot. So they're like, "Bugger, quick, let's get this prisoner out ASAP." So they go to the cell that they need to. And the prisoner actually turns out to be the Twi'leks. The Twi'leks' brother. So that was the prisoner. There he is. He's got a few scars on his face. And when they release him, they push Mando into the prison cell and lock Mando up. Naughty. So Mando's now imprisoned. However, he's still got all of his Mandalorian suit and all that kind of stuff. So he waits for a robot, one of the droids, to go past, grapple hooks it, shoots it, rips its arm off, uses its arm to open up the lock, goes to the main control room, starts shutting doors behind them, starts cutting them off from one another, and then hunts them down one at a time. And the hunting down bit was awesome. And you never see the killing blow. You just see him hunting them down, and then doof, he's on to the next one. The robot, but in the meantime, Baby Yoda gets out of its thing again and makes itself known to the robot. So the robot in the ship starts looking for Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda realizes that this robot ain't such a nice guy after all. Mando keeps taking people out. They got split up, so he's taken out maybe Clancy Brown, and he's taken out Game of Thrones. Then he goes and takes out Bill Burr. Then he goes and takes out... is it Bill Burr, the knife woman? Maybe. And then this guy here is just like, look, stop, look, listen. If you kill me, you won't get paid. Because I'm the bounty. So if you kill me, you ain't going to get paid. So you got to keep me alive. So it goes sort of blank. You don't know what the Mandalorian does. You don't know if he shoots him or if he imprisons him. And then the next thing you see is we're back with him docking the ship into the station, into the hangar again. And the guy's just like, where's everyone else? And Mando says, ask no questions, isn't that the deal? And he's like, yeah, that's the deal. Gets out the money, pays the Mandalorian. The guy's free. And he's like, right, see you around then, buds. Gets back into the ship. And Baby Yoda's behind me, but it's so cute. Baby Yoda's there and flies off. And as soon as he flies off, Detective Flash says, kill him. So they get this gunship. This gunship starts to materialize from the hangar. And then this guy says, what's this beeping in my pocket? And he takes it out, and it's the tracker. The Republican tracker. Set up, payoff. Every episode, it sets up, and it pays off perfectly. It's another reason why I love this show. And so we get a real cool meta Star Wars moment. 2 meta moments. Time warping in. Light speeding in. We get 3 Republic X-Wings. And one of the X-Wing pilots just so happens to be... that's not him. One of the Republic pilots just so happens to be Dave Filoni, who does the show with Jon Favreau. So he makes a cameo as one of the X-Wing pilots. So I'm sure he'll be absolutely there he is. I'm sure he'll be absolutely thrilled with that. And then of course, so we got the X-Wings, and then they say, you know, the tracker's beeping. This is definitely where it orientates from. And oh look, they're releasing a gunship because they see the gunship, so they start to shoot the space station to pieces. We don't know the fate of Flash and the other Twi'lek, whatever. Then it flashes back to the prison ship, and all of them are alive. Mando didn't kill them. He just incapacitated them and put them all in a prison cell. So Mando's got his money. Baby Yoda's safe. He's done his thing. He's kept the Republic off of his back. And he hasn't killed anyone. But he's kept all the horrible people alive. This guy is starting to develop a moral code by the looks of it. There was one part, I've heard this, I don't really want to, sort of like lower the tone, but, there's been a lot of sad people who are getting mad that people are really liking The Mandalorian and really gravitating towards Baby Yoda. And Baby Yoda's a Mary Sue. Why do you keep calling Rey a Mary Sue? Baby Yoda's Mary Sue. Baby Yoda's not Mary Sue. He's done one thing. She's just done one thing in the whole show. And this episode, the droid eventually finds, when they're playing the hide and seek in the ship, he eventually finds Baby Yoda and points a gun to shoot Baby Yoda. And Baby Yoda's trying to do some force, but it's not working. So it's either not working on the droid or it's not powerful enough to do it. But whatever he wanted to do was not going to work. And Mandalorian shoots the robot in the back and kills the robot. So if it wasn't for Mandalorian, Baby Yoda would have gone. And it's quite funny because when he shoots him and he explodes, Baby Yoda goes like, with his hand, did I just do that? So it was a great show. Absolutely great episode. Loved it to pieces. I'm going to give this one's an 8.5 out of 10. This is an 8.5 out of 10. It was simple. It was simple, not too complex. But what it did bring to the table, I thought it executed really well. It had some great effects. It had some great characters in it as well, who I want to see in the future. I want to see this motley crew back. And I couldn't have been happier. I really couldn't have been happier. Great show. Great show. This show is great. I'm loving it. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links there in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.